Hi, it's Lynn from Lynn's Talk Studio. I'm just setting things aside so that I know I have everything. I have all kinds of little pieces today. So happy hump day. We've made it to Wednesday, or is it Thursday? I don't even know anymore. Whatever. It's January 20th, I know that much. And I pulled out the buffalo check again. And this is the mini buffalo check. And actually, Magnolia Design Co. has a larger buffalo check. And that one, I want to say the size is like 18 by 18. It's a big square. I just happen to prefer mini plaid because I just think it's really cool. Not that I don't use the larger buffalo plaid, I do, but I tend to use this one more often. And I do have a wood heart here. Hi, nice to see you, Julia. So anyway, so I just painted this with acrylic paint front and back. This was a little bit too thick, so I didn't use the crocodile to poke the holes in it. I actually drilled holes in this. And then let's see, what else are we working with today? Black chalk paste, of course, my mini squeegee. Got my stir stick. I have some burlap that we're going to use, and this is actually a burlap ribbon that is like a tape. It's a burlap ribbon tape, so we're going to be using that today. And then I have my trusty, dusty little clippers here. I did remember my glue, and then I've got my ribbon. And then this I picked up at the dollar spot. Oh, I have babies here, and she's drinking the water that I have for stencils. Oh my goodness. This was just a little pieces that I picked up at the dollar spot, and this actually had more sprigs. I've been cutting it apart and will do so again. And then just some artificial baby's breath, and I've just been pulling little pieces from here as well. Obviously, it's quite long. But anyway, let's get started. This stencil, and you can see it when I take it off of here, this has been well used. It's gonna just come right up. So I really don't need to take the time to fuzz this one because it's well loved. I am going to take my backing sheet and put that underneath, and that is just so that I'm protecting my board underneath. So I'm just going to lay this down. I'm going to go over to make sure that it's down and I don't have any bubbles. I've got one right there on the edge. That might cause me a little bit of trouble, but it may also just play into giving it kind of that vintage look. So I'm just gonna check out my black paste. I don't know why I didn't check this earlier today, but always good to check. And I've got the consistency that I want for that. So it's more like yogurt. It's not too thin. It's not too thick. It's actually just right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this across the top. I have a lot of surface to cover. This is just sliding back and forth. It's staying on my surface. It's just not wanting to stay on my backing surface. And like I said, it's well used. I actually am going to have to take the antibacterial wipe to it. And then I'm just going to pull down. Looks like I'm going to need a little bit more. Start at that top, pull down, and then just continue to go across. Now with this one, not adhering quite as much, I'm going to avoid going back over it too much because that's when you really get it. There we go. Lynn's got paste. All right. Oh, Lynn doesn't go a day without paste on her fingers. So we're just going to keep pulling this down. Go back up to our top, pull down, come across, come across. And again, this is slipping, but it's slipping on my backing sheet. It's not slipping on my surface. And then I'm just gonna real quick wipe off that excess. Come on, get all that excess off. And put my squeegee aside, cover up my paste. I don't want my paste to get too dry. And yes, of course, again, I have chalk paste on my fingers. It's an occupational hazard for me. I don't know why I can't seem to do this without. So then what I'm going to do is just go from the top. I'm going to get a hold of my heart right on one of these white pieces and then just continue to pull up. And yes, it's got a real vintage look to it, and I'm going to set that aside. Got that going. And then we're going to take our dryer, and again, you can use a hair dryer. You don't have to use a heat gun. We're just going to dry this off. And there I've got that piece done, and as you can see, it's got kind of that vintage look. It's not perfect, which perfect is not what I was going for. I was hoping that I had some little splotches here and there and some pull-ups so that it gave it more of that vintage look. Then I don't have to go in and sand and give it that look. So the next step that we're going to do, and I can set this aside as well, is to get our glue. And of course, we have our heart, and shake up my glue. I also have one of the hearts that I painted. These come in 12 packs from Magnolia Design Co. This other one was cut at home, although check out Amazon in some places because I really think that you can get them this size. I just didn't. So I painted this red. I'm going to take my glue. Hopefully we won't have a glue fiasco like we've had in the past. And I'm just going to put, this is like a super glue. We're getting to the bottom here. And I'm just going to put that around the edges of this. This sticks really well. I don't need to put a ton of it on. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm just lining it up on the side so that it lays, come on, it'll lay flat against this if I get it just to the right spot. Let's see, come on, turn a little bit. There we go. Did I get it? This one's not going to cooperate quite as much. That's okay. I think I have it up just a little bit higher than I have my other ones. So there, I've got that glued down. I'm actually going to wipe off the top of my glue container there. Okay, I did get chalk paste on my fingers, but I didn't get super glue on my fingers. So that's a plus for the day. So then the next piece is taking this ribbon, because I'm going to go across my heart with the ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this where I believe I want it to go. I'm going to cut it a little long. I can always cut things off. Now I'm actually going to just set that aside, and I'm going to grab my little sprigs here, and I'm going to take my clippers and then just clip off a piece of this. You'll probably see my clipping face. There we go. That one was just a little bit thicker. Baby's breath shouldn't be as hard. Let's see, what do I want? I think I'm going to go with this piece. And let's straighten this out. How about that? And then I'm just going to go in here. I don't want a really long stem with this one because I don't want it to come down beyond my burlap ribbon. However, if it did, I could fix it. Okay, so we've got that, and nope, this one. So we've got that, and we're going to take the back off this ribbon, and of course, like anything, it's always hard to find that end, but I'm just going to fold that corner back, and I've got it. So got that taken care of. Now, I'm just going to let that set aside. I need my glue again, and actually I'm going to take this up, and I'm going to put this across, right across the middle of the heart where I want it, and then I'm just going to fold this around the back, and what you'll see is it's going to go up, so it's at an angle there. It won't go straight across. And then with this is just showing me exactly how wide this is and where I want to try to put my flowers. And I'm actually, because this is sticky, I'm just going to kind of stick this down in to see where I want that to go. And actually, I'm going to do my baby's breath first because I want that closest. And both of them are coming down below the heart, which is okay. No, you need to be underneath this, like behave. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take just a little bit off each one of these, again, just because I don't want that to show. And then with my glue, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right here along the edge of my heart. Got that. And then I'm going to put my baby's breath in here. And really, when you go to buy flowers that you're going to use for embellishments, you don't have to buy a dozen. You can certainly get away with just one piece and you'll end up having lots of sprigs. Oh, let's cooperate today. All right, so we've got that down, and I'm actually going to pull this across. I just want to make sure that I have it straight. Oh, come on. Come on. Let that set down on the bottom there. Okay, so I've got my little sprigs on the side. And then what I decided to do with this is that I just wanted a teeny tiny little bow. You're going to see this better once I get the bow on here. And so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back. And then come down straight from where the middle of my heart is. Hold that down for a minute. Let's see, do we have that on there? Okay, well, we'll let that dry a second while I cut the ribbon for this. And what I have here is just the 8-inch ribbon. I can't talk today. I'm stumbling over my words. That happens, right? Okay, and put some of my tools aside so I can see what I'm doing here. And then I'm just going to cut, about 16 inches of ribbon. Now, the other thing that you could do with this is you could actually string beads on this ribbon and have it held by a beaded ribbon. I just want to keep this really simple, so I'm choosing not to do that. Definitely an option. So I'm just going to pull that through. And oftentimes I want to pull it over and I have to catch myself because that's not what I want. What I'm going to do is just tie my knot. And I'm going to pull that almost tight enough to go through, but pull it tight. And then I'm going to make a second knot right around that. Now my knot is big enough that it's not going to pull through the back of this hole. And the other thing I can do is clip this off, and then right by the edge of the little hole that I drilled, I put just a dot of glue. As I pull this, I can make sure that I just hold that down on the glue, and that's not going to go anywhere. So it's just a nice way to keep it there. Now, of course, if I decide that I don't want to use this as ribbon to hold it, well, then that's a problem. But I know that I do. I went through, oh gosh, I went through so many different, I had twine, and then I had bows on twine, and I had different colors of ribbon, different sizes of ribbon. I just went back and forth and just played around until I got what I was really, really looking for. So again, I have my knot. I'm pulling my other knot there right into it, making sure that my knot is bigger than the hole that was drilled. Snip that off. Again, I'm going to just put a little bit of glue right there. And then I'm going to pull that. I'm infamous for getting super glue on my fingers, and that's why I'm using my paintbrush squeegee, one of the, I think it's 5 that comes in this set. They're handy dandy. I really like them for those really tight little corners to get on some of those really intricate stencils. And so, voila, there we have it. We have our little vintage buffalo plaid heart, and just ready to go, hang up, and just fun little Valentine easy crafts, whether you want to give it as a gift or put it up for home decor, whatever is your preference. Having a hobby and having just something fun to come down and relax. I've actually spent a lot of time today painting surfaces. I've come down and chalked a few things, and it just kind of gives me that because I love Magnolia Design Co. I'm happy that I found them. I just, you know, like I said before, the whole reason I even kidnapped was to get the kit so that I could get the 35% discount and use the stencils on furniture. And I think I've done 2 pieces of furniture, but I really enjoy making the signs. It's just a lot of fun. It's relaxing. I do happen to sell in a couple of shops. And boy, when COVID's over, I can't wait to hold my chalk classes and maybe get my team together and have some fun in person. We're spread across the United States, but you know, we'll figure out a way. So anyway, with that, just a real quick and easy tutorial on how to make a double heart buffalo plaid. So for you, have a great evening. Happy chalking, and I'll see you tomorrow live at 5. Bye.